And basically a cup of Big Slap is like 165 milligrams. So it's a little bit extra, nothing crazy. I mean, what's that? Like an extra quarter of a cup on one cup. So it's nothing crazy. But again, you're getting that like feel good energy from the supplements, and that's the extra kick. A lot of pre-workouts too. I was going to bring that up. People are obsessed with this crazy pre-workout stuff, and I used to take a little bit of it when I was younger. I'm 29 now, so when I was around 18, 19, I used to take this pre-workout stuff. And I mean, that stuff gets you off the walls. It's like these kids are taking this crazy pre-workout. They have no idea what's in it. I think you take one scoop has like 300 milligrams,
Jesus.
And these kids will take 2 scoops, 3 scoops or something. They just chug a bottle of water with 600 to 900 milligrams of caffeine and try to go work out. And that's like, that is pretty crazy. So, that was another reason. I feel like this brand and this product can appeal to a lot of people, and ultimately help a lot of people because, right, you're not going to be taking in 600 milligrams of caffeine in one sitting before you go work out, right? You're going to have a cup of coffee with a little extra vitamins, and that'll do you just fine.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy with the whole, the pre-workout world is that there's no regulation on that kind of stuff. So you can make a pre-workout that is, like you said, 300 milligrams in one scoop, which those scoops aren't very big. And again, if you market it to kids, I think that's kind of where people are kind of getting upset with the, Logan Paul and the Prime guys because they're kind of marketing to kids. And so, you need to, it's so weird trying to even have that conversation with kids nowadays because, when you're growing up, you knew, coffee wasn't really for kids. Most caffeine really, energy drinks really shouldn't be for kids. But go to any Starbucks. Like most people, not most, but a lot of people that do go in there are going to be under 18 years old, or they're going to be with their parents that are going to get them coffee. It's like, well, yeah, a lot of that is sugar, but there is still a good amount of caffeine in there. And a lot of kids don't need to be having that much caffeine because it's not good. And, obviously as it goes along, the effects on their body, they're not going to realize because there's no real data for that because of the fact that, kids have just recently within the last, I guess, 10 to 15 years, really started consuming more caffeine than they really ever have before.
I agree. And, it's actually, it's a really good point you brought up because, I'm thinking about all these pre-workouts. They have like Sour Patch Kids flavor, right? Candy flavors, whatever, all this various, or even if it's a cotton candy pre-workout or energy drink, but they really do kind of market to a younger demographic. And, I mean, I think like you just said, nobody's really coming after a coffee company for marketing to kids, right? Right. So I think that's another benefit,
Yeah. So right now you guys only really have the medium roast. What does the future look like for y'all when it does come to expansion?
Yeah. So perfect. So, we're obviously going to have a dark roast, light roast. I actually do, speaking of flavors and stuff, I'm quite I love my flavored coffee. So hazelnut, coconut coffee, maybe pumpkin spice, whatever, just the typical flavors. So we'd love to add those. And that's definitely going to be in the near future. We're going to be looking to do K-cups as well. So pretty much all those, dark roast, light roast, medium roast, different types of flavors. We'll have them in the ground packaging, and then we'll just have the K-cups as well, which a lot of people are asking for. And, I completely agree. People just want to wake up in the morning, pop in a K-cup. I love iced coffee too. So I think the Big Slap iced coffee or cold brew, and I make I make big slap and cold brew all day, and it's like that's really my favorite way to make this coffee. But French press is good. I mean, people have their various ways of making it. Yeah, but yeah. So.
No, I love that because I mean I love some iced coffee too. I don't like it. Some people love it piping hot. I'm not a fan. But no, I have the Keurig at the home, and I have my own little filter that I just, get my favorite coffee or you try new coffees, put them in there, and then I'm good. That way I'm not having to worry about well, plus the pollution that's happening with the K-Cups is just ridiculous at this point. But you just reuse the same one over and over again, and you're good to go.
That's true. I do have a reusable K-Cup I use quite a bit too, but that's a good point, and I'm definitely environmentally friendly, so that's a good point you bring up. So I'll look to get the biodegradable K-Cups for sure.
There we go.
But yeah, and we're looking to make our coffee organic, so the next couple runs, it's technically not organic now. It's Colombian coffee, so it's good quality coffee and everything's by the books, but in the next couple rounds, we're probably going to switch over to all organic. Yeah, so that's kind of something we're looking to do as well.
That's awesome. I like the expansion, and the flavored ideas is will always sell when it comes to coffee because a lot of people, whether they do like regular coffee, they will probably add some kind of creamer or maybe some kind of flavor, and even the sugar-free syrups are really good alternatives too for people who don't, have or don't get the flavored creamers. So those are always good options. But if you already have the flavor in there, there's no reason to add anything.
Exactly. Yeah, and I wanted to. I'll let everybody in on a little secret in terms of where we're also going to go with the brand, and I've kind of had this idea, but I forgot to mention this, but I think we are going to keep experimenting with new types of supplements in our coffee. So we'll keep the original Big Slap blend, right? And we're going to introduce other types of blends. So I've had an idea of like a knockout blend, which is basically a decaf coffee. And this may be a little crazy, maybe not for everybody. Decaf coffee with some L-theanine in it, maybe some GABA in it. I mean, no one's ever heard of a coffee that they drink before bedtime that puts them to sleep. And again, it's a crazy idea, but you never know. I'm kind of like, that's something that I could see being a product. So maybe thinking about doing
perfect,
that.
You're working in on the tea market, really.
Exactly. I mean, and I could talk about my dad a little bit. He's a huge coffee drinker. I mean, he drinks so much coffee every day, and he's always drinking coffee at night. And that's kind of where I got the idea of like a decaf sleepy time coffee, where again it just tastes like a cup of decaf coffee, but kind of gets you pretty sleepy, feeling good and ready for a good night's rest, which they don't have that out there. So that's another idea.
Coffee, not just for the mornings anymore. There it is.
Exactly. And I mean, my dad's crazy. He'll be drinking. I mean, sometimes he doesn't even drink the decaf. He'll drink a full cup of coffee at like 9:00. What the hell are you doing? He'll fall right asleep. And I'm like, I don't know how he does it, but anyways.
Yeah, sometimes people will offer, like, if it's later, usually when I'm over at my nana's and with my parents, and we'll have dessert or whatever, and they're like, oh, do you want some decaf? I was like, no, I don't want brown water. Why would I want decaf? That's ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's funny. Yeah, half calf. I've seen those too. Half calf and half a cup. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned already that you train jiu-jitsu, and I saw the post from 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu out in Santa Barbara. How long have you been training jiu-jitsu now?
Yeah, that's right. So I've been training jiu-jitsu for a little over 5 years. So I'm a blue belt, Yeah, blue belt under Jeremiah Vance. I'm ready for a purple belt whenever he's ready to give me one. But been training for a while now, 5.5 years. That's another big reason. I feel like the jiu-jitsu community is obviously it's a great market, and I feel like that I've had some people reach out to me about that, and I think it goes hand in hand, with the brand to an extent, and same with MMA, and I think the brand kind of it goes hand in hand with a lot of stuff, so it kind of appeals to a lot of people. But anyways, not to veer off, but yeah, in terms of jiu-jitsu.
I've had many amazing jiu-jitsu players on this podcast, and I like to preach more about jiu-jitsu as much as possible. And the first day I ever trained, they said embrace the suck, and I was like, yes, that is exactly the perfect slogan for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, you're gonna get beat up, but you know what? The life lessons from training, I mean, they're invaluable. It's like you get beat up, and it's like you're gonna get your ass, or excuse me, I don't know if you're gonna get beat up.
You're good.
You're gonna get beat up, and you're gonna realize, okay, do I quit, or am I gonna let this, drive me to get better, right? And the longer you do it, I mean, I call it the enforcement to an extent. And again, it's like I used to get beat up by all the black belts I trained with, and they'd ragdoll me around, and I'm like, I'm going to keep getting better and keep getting tougher day by day, and that's, what I've been doing. And to an extent, then you pass it along, and then the new guys coming in, you're like, all right, I'm doing this to make you tougher. Sorry. I'm not gonna go easy on you, just so and again, it's not for everybody, but if you have that mentality of wanting to make progress, or wanting to get better no matter what. I've had various injuries, nothing too crazy, but definitely some stuff that's held me back. I had a nerve injury this past year.
Ooh.
It's really been quite a hurdle, and you think about quitting a lot. I've had a lot of little injuries where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I got to quit, but ultimately, like anything in life, if you really love it, if you really are motivated to keep going and get better, you're gonna get back to it. And I think it kind of goes hand in hand with business as well. I've had a couple other businesses as well, being a real estate agent. There's a lot of days you're like, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this, but I'm going to keep going and persevere. And it's really just that mindset of just kind of never giving up. And you're going to have those days where you get beat up, but ultimately you're going to get better from it and grow from it. So yeah.
It's a wonderful way to look at it too, because, in life in general, you're going to get beat up sometimes, and it's how you get up from getting beat up that, was really the tell of your character.
Definitely. And you've trained for a little, or are you in your training, or?
So I trained for a little bit. I couldn't make the money and the time work for me at the time. I hope to get back into it again later, once things kind of. I'm looking for different employment that has a little more flexible hours like I used to, and then obviously more money from a job as well. So I'm working on getting back to it. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, no, I that's another thing I tell people is it's like it's tough. It takes a lot of time. But if you love it, you're gonna get back to it, and that's what it comes down to. So yeah, like anything in life, it's like you'll have your seasons of at least that's kind of what I found.
No, yeah, you're completely right. Like if you love it so much, then it's gonna obviously find a way back into your life. So just be ready for it to go away for a while and then wait for it to come back.